Hello everyone, and welcome to another StarCraft 2 video replay technique thing, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, this match is just another 1v1 ladder match I had versus me, again, as the Red Terran, versus my opponent, Lil Jon, as the Blue Protoss. This map is played on the map name that I cannot remember, but that's okay. The actual map itself doesn't really come into play a whole ton in this match, but anyways, let's start this up. But I'm sorry I haven't had a whole lot of videos up these days. You know, busy with college and everything. It can just be exhausting. Makes you want to play the game but not want to record it. But this video has several important things that go on as a part of it. First off, you can see my opponent has already brought one probe down here. Of course, I had no idea that this was, going to happen at the time. This is my player cam. I didn't know that this was going on at all, so... But that probe was the bane of my existence. You'll see why a little bit later. But anyways, just the standard stuff, Open up with a supply depot, put the barracks at the front of the base, just the standard stuff. My opponent appears to be going standard play. Got his gateway up, got his pylon up. But the thing is, there would be no reason to have that probe there. And you see, I came ever so close to scouting this. Hold on, did I actually scout that? Oh god. Man, had I managed... This is my player cam right now. This is all I can see. Let's... Look, that pylon is literally right there. I just barely didn't scout that. But as you can plainly see, my opponent is going for cannons... for photon cannons in my base, utilizing a proximity forge. Nothing super spectacular. Hold on a second. Alright, sorry about that. I just tried to adjust my settings so that hopefully things will run a little bit smoother. For some reason, when I'm recording like this, it's lagging bad. Anyways, let's resume. But, it's all basic stuff. I see the probe coming into my base. Doesn't look too... I even try a bit of fancy marine micro, but the probe gets away with 10 HP. Whatever. What I didn't see is that it didn't go right back to its base. Had I seen it go to the right there, I would have had my spidey sense tingling on this spot. Unfortunately, I did not. And, I probably should have thought something was suspicious when I didn't see he had anything else in his base. But, hey, that's just the way things go. Sometimes you don't think about it. Meanwhile, I have two photon cannons warping in on the low ground. Immediately, they don't pose any sort of threat. But you'll see what happens in about a minute here. As you can see, here comes a Zealot across the map, which I again should have scouted as my SCV had that watchtower. It just proves you gotta keep alerts. Anyways, here. See, okay, here's where stuff starts to go down. Two Marines are absolutely no chance against the Zealot. But I did notice this probe. Okay, we'll watch what happens in these next few seconds. I know I only have one chance of killing this Zealot, and I bring my Marine towards the SCVs. And I have the SCVs defending. SCVs aren't super powerful, but if they gang up... Alright, hold on. Before I interrupt my thought anymore. Here's something you need to... Let's go back just a pinch here. a pinch more. Pinch more. Okay. Okay, that's a pinch too far. Whatever. We'll just zoom it up. Anyways, what I'm gonna have you do here is listen, because I didn't actually have a visual cue that this happened. But what occurred here was very, very, very important. Here comes the Zealot. We're gonna switch to my player cam.
We could use some help here. SCV ready.
Listen. You hear that? I didn't even see the probe. But because of the fact that something was warping in, I knew exactly what was going on. In a situation like this, your only objective is to kill that probe. Because if you don't kill the probe, if I were to say go for this pylon or go for this cannon, because I knew it was a cannon. The only reason someone would be warping something in my base is if it was either a cannon or a pylon, and this late saying that was a bold maneuver, walking that Zealot in like that, it was a cannon. It had to be. Anyways. As you plainly saw, I lost a few SCVs, but that's better than losing everything to a cannon rush. Now let's take a moment here. Let's look at my base here. Of course, I have the Ghost Academy because Ghosts with their EMP shockwaves are very good against Protoss. EMP drains 100 shields, temporarily decloaks units. It's a very, very powerful thing. But it requires, barracks and lots of gas, which, as you can see, I have 300 gas saved up. I was ready to produce Ghosts. But we'll see what happens in a minute or two here. My opponent is still just going his standard little harassment build, but let's see what happens. I knew that everything was going to be outranged except for that gas. And honestly, at this point, I have to say that I wasn't concerned. But I did know, right here, you see this SCV going to go build this barracks here? I knew that more probes were going to be coming. More probes and more Zealots were coming because at the moment, one's not enough. One's not going to be enough. And lo and behold, I was perfectly right. Here comes the Zealot and the probe with an attempt to do what he did before. Zealot managed to kill off the SCV, but he wasn't going to get the barracks. Had I not put that barracks there, I'd probably be in trouble again. But I knew what was coming. It's one of those things that you learn. It's one of those game sense sort of elements. Here, let's just go back to my view. It seems to be lagging less when that happens.
SCV ready. It's go time.
But anyways, I can't put up the gas. I've got to get rid of that pylon, because I know that if that pylon's allowed to stay, he's just gonna start working in units on the high ground. And I can't have that. Pretty much the moment you start having units warping into your base. What the devil? But anyways, I do some sweet little cannon micro here. I put the Marine up front so it gets shot at by the cannon first. Because Marauders do 20 damage to armored units. Cannons are considered armored. They deal with it pretty effectively. And now I have my base. Of course, one can easily say that I almost didn't. But what are you going to do? What you are going to do is adapt, and I apparently didn't realize that I had 2 idle SCVs. Okay, there they go. Now they're getting back to work. But anyways, I had the Marauders just shooting at the low ground. Nothing special right now. But you can see right here, I basically went, shit.
Oh, it's on.
He's got a whole base down there. I didn't know what to do at this point, but then it hit me. If he's gonna do that, I'm gonna change up my battle plan. Ghosts would be nice. You know, I don't know why I researched the Mobius reactor for the ghosts. I mean, it's obviously so that they'd have 25 more energy. They'd be able to EMP right off the bat. Hey, whatever. You can't think of everything.
Research
Instead,
complete.
what I did is I started going for factory. From the factory, you can get the siege
Add-on
tanks.
complete.
And from the siege tanks,
SCV ready.
counter this contain that they have. So let's speed it up a little bit. Nothing happens here for a minute or two. But okay, right here, I saw they had all these guys. I wanted to kill that immortal because immortals are expensive. Immortals are, yeah, 250 gas. I mean 250 minerals, 100 gas. I made a pickup of killed 3 stalkers for the price of 4 marines. I made a decent pickup there. Every immortal he has less means that's every chance I have more of winning. Because in case you didn't know what immortals do, their shields
Go!
only take 10 damage from anything above 10 damage. They've got 100 shields, but you know, if
complete.
a siege tank hits them with something that would normally do 50 damage, it only does 10. Of course, that only means anything, you know, before their shields are depleted, but they also do 50 damage to armored units such as Marauders. And since Marauders only have 125 HP, losing 50 HP a shot is not a pleasant thing. But look at my barracks. I knew that I wouldn't have a whole lot of gas to spare because siege tanks are pretty gas intensive. So, also knowing that there could be a potential for him to start building up void rays, but Marines counter void rays. Oh, watch this a little bit right here. I see that. Boom. There goes an observer. That's all about game sense. I knew that there would be an observer coming sometime or another, and he has to rebuild it.
Armed and ready.
They're very cheap though now, but hey, that's whatever. Oh, and also sometime in here I got my expansion going. Yeah. Because I knew I was going to need to do an expansion, because since he had me contained so well within my base, I figured he was going to mass expand. But anyways, here comes my switch of tactics. I switched to siege tanks. Because, of course, Hero's a little bit derpy if I let him sit there and get killed by those guys. Oh well, that's okay.
Gangway. Coming.
I was ready for him next time. I should have done this in the first place. Would have saved myself a siege tank.
Research complete.
But I just started shelling his base from up here. Shifted plans. Because, you know, the big thing is... And there goes... Squishy.
Up, ready to go.
But the thing you gotta remember is every bit you can chip off your opponent, every building that gets blown up, everything he has to rebuild is one less thing that he can't use against him. That's why I was content to just sit here for a minute or two and blast the crap out of his buildings. That's something you gotta remember about StarCraft. Everything less they have means that there's less you have to deal with. Shelling away.
Ready to roll that.
Building more siege tanks. I was finally able to get that gas back up.
SCV ready.
And my natural will start getting up to date. This whole time I'm constantly producing Marines from the barracks because, again, Marines are
Upgrade
good
complete.
against air and ground. But here's a word of advice. His tactics against anyone who hadn't reacted so well probably wouldn't have worked at all. You know, I mean, probably wouldn't have worked. His tactics he fought an opponent who was even a little less alert than I was, his tactics would have worked perfectly. He would have
SCV ready.
he would have cannon rushed the hell out of me and I'd have been done. But luckily, I managed to keep myself alert.
Oh, it's on.
It's just one of those things. Oh, and here pops
SCV
another
ready.
observer in about 2 seconds here. No? But anyways, see, I've got all these commands here. And you see, I even... there we go. There I'm even. I broke the opponent's concave, and that gave me the chance I needed. All these marines, even though I've had to use 2 stands, they just melt right through the kill off is contained, and I'm no longer useless. Oh, there goes that pesky. So, I've gotten myself out of a contain, I've broken the enemy securely. Now, at this point, let me see. I faced a conundrum. Hold on, let me see here. I faced a conundrum. 2 thoughts went through my head right now. I should attack. And you can see I started moving my men to get ready to go and attack his main base. But this is the sort of thing that you sometimes have to sit back and go, wait a minute. If my opponent was smart enough to be able to contain me so well like that, how do I know? Here, I scan his main base, I see nothing.
Ghost report.
I move back to my base, and you know, anyone who wasn't quite thinking fully would probably go, sweet, I've got this in the bag. But it struck me that
Add-on complete.
if he had been defeated, if he had
Mineral
nothing
field
left,
depleted.
he would have called good game and quit then, because that'd have been all. There'd have been no reason to sit around and watch me go squash the little bit of his army that was left. So it was running through my head that my opponent still had something. You see, I didn't know, I didn't see a whole lot.
Oh, it's on.
And that, whenever you can't see much of the map, you get concerned. That's why I sent out this SCV to scout.
SCV ready.
I wanted him to scout that expansion over there, make sure there wasn't. You can see he's looking over on the mini-map. I can
Additional
see there's
supply
nothing.
depots required.
I get him moving over to
It's
the other
about
side of
to
the
get
map.
heavy.
You know, I scan his natural, there's no natural up, and then it definitely struck me that, see, I move my army forward. Now, here I move my army forward, but then it hits me, you know? Right there. Did you see that? Hold on, let's take that back for a minute. Let's step back a few seconds in time. To a very critical point. Something that could have caused a lot of damage had I not noticed it. Let's zoom forward just a few seconds because...
Additional supply depots required.
And this little lesson we're seeing right here is just how you need to be alert. See? I can see on the mini-map something crossing over. That right there, that little bug thing that you saw, the blue thing flying by, that's called a warp prism. Warp prisms can create a temporary field where if your opponent has warp gate technology, they can warp in units right where that is. Now you saw him coming right down the screen like this. If you track that line of where he was going, he's gonna land about right there. And that would spell trouble, and boom, I scouted again. Absolutely zero question what he's
Our
planning on doing.
SCVs are under attack.
He's planning on dropping off units into my back mineral line. I already have a tank there, but one tank's not going to be enough. But my entire army is. And that right
Mineral
there
field depleted.
was definitely a big pickup, because he dropped off 400 minerals worth of Zealots and 200 minerals worth of Warp Prism went down. I made a lot of leeway on that, and I realized that he had a large base there. Now you see, this base is important because, let's quickly go to the main map here. Had I just gone and attacked my opponent's main base, just walked up and, when I was moving my men up here, I would have walked in, I'd have killed those cannons, no problem. I'd have walked in and I'd have started killing his Nexus. Whoop-de-doo. What would have happened when that happened is he would have warped in. I mean, he had plenty of money. He had more than enough resources. He'd have warped in a bunch of units, and they'd have come right down here, right where my units currently are, walked right in over here, and into my front base. My entire army would have been over here killing his crap, and he would have been over here killing mine. The difference is, I don't have a second base on the side where I can reproduce units from. Had he, had a few sentries in this army, when my entire army was up here killing his crap, when he's in here killing my stuff, all he would have had to do, even when my army came all the way back around, was force field this ramp. Sentries can deploy a force field for 50 energy. It blocks ground movements for all units except for massive units that crush it. I had no massive units. It takes one force field to block this ramp if you drop it properly. That's 15 seconds he had to kill off the rest of my base, produce more reinforcements, and come in for a pincer attack. So, what am I trying to get at? Instead of going up and blatantly just attacking the front of his base with a bunch of, harmed marine, because all my marines are at like 25 HP, because I don't have dropships just yet. There's some producing right now, but that's not the point. The point is, had I attacked when I thought I had an opportunity, I probably would have lost. This is showing that you need to think about your moves before you make them. This is just like chess. Absolutely zero things different from chess besides space, marines, and zerglings. But, anyways,
baby.
we'll carry on. We'll go from my player cam. I'm just back here macroing up some more. Got my man outside his expansion that I know
Ready
is
for
there.
dust-off.
I know is well armed, and I don't have my tanks and everything there. But now I have medevacs, so I know I can manage to, maybe make something happen here. But I also want to bring slight attention to these siege tanks right here. Look at the range of these siege tanks. They're only in range of this gateway right here. That wasn't their focus. The point is that they're firing on all of these units that are clumped up on the ramp. You see that? I just completely vaporized that army because my siege tanks were doing 50 damage to all of those armored units that were finagling their way around my base. I mean finagling their way on the ramp. But we'll go back to my player camp. I don't know how the stalker Zalot did in my base, but it turns out they just went around. That's okay though. I already know I have a massive enough army, but I just get done flattening the rest of his base. There he goes, trying to
Additional supply
move
depots
his men
required.
into trying to hold basements. The problem is I already have these Marines and Marauders do their life. But in the end, this entire match was all about sinking. It was all about, thinking your way through, thinking your actions through. Don't rashly go and attack your opponent. Because in a situation like this, he had all these gateways. Now it's going to get run Anyways,
Go time.
we're finishing this map. And there we go. And I meant to type good game there. I meant to type good game there, but my hands were really cold because I don't know why, and I tried typing GG, but I just failed at typing GG. So once the match was over, I sent the guy a message saying, hey, I meant to say GG, but I just couldn't manage to do it. And he's like, hey, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't being a prick or anything. I was going to say good game, well done, handshake, but anyways, what's the moral of this story? You gotta think it through. No matter how bad things look, no matter how many cannons are sitting outside your base, you think about it, you act, and then you react once that's done. That's all you gotta do. Act and then think and then act. Because that's what StarCraft's about. That's what life's about. Life lessons with Flamazoid. Think about where your Marines... anyways, before I get off on any more tangent, I've already used enough of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.